This is video number 32 in the Book 2 series, and it's for all of the instruments. I'd like you to open up to page number 28 in your book, Essential Elements Book 2. Today we're going to learn about minor keys. Now you've been playing, for the most part, you've been playing in major keys all year long. All right, we've been doing D major, G major, A major, F major, B flat major, C. You've learned all of those major keys. Not all the ones that exist, but you've learned several of them. All of those, here's an oversimplification. When a composer wants to write a song that is happy, they use a major key. When they want to write a song that's sad or mysterious or angry, they use a minor key. Okay, again, total oversimplification, but works for our purposes today. Okay, so what does a composer do this? Let's say they're like, I want to write a happy song, and I want it to be, the main note to be D. I'm going to use D major, okay? So what does the main note mean? It means that when you're listening to the song, your ear is constantly trying to hear that pitch, that particular pitch, okay? So that main note is called the tonic. We don't need to get really far into that, but it's a little bit important. So if you go back in your book and look at any of your older songs, go back to page 16. And look at the key signature of everything on page 16. Number 68, 69, look at the key signature. Two sharps, F sharp and C sharp. That means to us right now, D major. Okay? Now look at the last note of every single one of those songs. It's a D every single time. Again, if you're in D major, your ear is constantly trying to go back to that D. That's why sometimes if you stop in the middle of a song, it doesn't sound like the end. Because your ear's wanting to hear, it's in D major, I want to hear the D. That's why composers finish the song on the main note, the tonic, okay? So go now and look at a different page where we're in a different key. Look at number 98 in your book. Look at 21, page 21, number 98. Look at that key signature. There's one flat. One flat is B flat, but the name of the key signature is F major. Now look at the last note of the song. Okay, it is an F. Okay, now flip the page and look on page 23. Look at 105, 106, and 107. All of those have B flats and E flats. That means we're in the key of B flat major. Now look at the last note, B flat. Okay, again, what key you're in is what your ear is constantly trying to find. Now, I'm going to change it up a little. Go back to page 28. And look at 126. Now, it looks like it's an F major, doesn't it? It looks like it's an F major, one flat, B flat. Now, I'm going to tell you that all those key signatures you've learned, there is a corresponding minor key, okay? So, it might look like F major, but it might be a different key. It might be a minor key. Look at the last note of 126. The last note of 126 is a D. So that's the main note of the song. That's what our ear is trying to always constantly go back to, okay? So this is not in F major. It's actually in D minor. Now, how do you figure out, let's say that you want to compose something. How do you figure out how to write a minor song? A sad song or an angry song or a mysterious sounding song. How do you do that? As a composer, you say, okay, I want to write a sad song. I want the main note of the song, what your ears constantly listen to be the note D. Can't use D major because it's going to sound happy, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up, go ahead and pick up your instrument now. I'm going to go up 3 notes. Now, I'm not skipping any notes. So you go to your D string, can't skip anything. I'm not talking about notes in the key signature. No, you can't skip anything. So from open D, go up 3 notes. E flat is the first note. The next note up higher is E. The next note up is F. I'm going to write in D minor. The main note of my song is going to be D. And I'm going to use the same key signature as F major. Okay? Very often, the main note of the song, the tonic, whatever key it's in, it starts and ends on that note. So look at 126 now. That starts on a D and ends on a D. That's where your ear is constantly trying to go back to. This song, when we play it in a minute, you're going to realize that there's a song that we've learned that actually is very similar to that, but it's in D major and not D minor. It's really kind of cool. Before we do that, I want to do a couple more of these over here so you can figure out how minor keys come about, okay? And then we do need to play the scale as well because it's going to sound different. They sound really cool. Okay, so go to your, let's say that I'm going to compose a song. I want to make it a sad song, and I want my main note to be A. Go to your A string. Now go up 3 notes without skipping anything. B flat. Go up another note, you got B. Go up another note, you have C. If I'm going to write in A minor, I'm going to probably start and most likely finish the song on the note A, and I'm going to use the key signature of C major. So we'll have no sharps and no flats, okay? So the main note of the song is A, that's the key. I make it minor by using the key signature that has no sharps and no flats. So every major key that you learned has a minor key that has the same key signature. So C major has the same key signature as A minor. We've already learned that F major has the same key signature as D minor, okay? Now let's do one more. Go to your G string. Go up 3 notes, start an open G. 1 note is A flat, 2 notes A, 3rd note B flat. So I'm going to start and end my song on G. I'm going to make that the main note of the song, and I'm going to use the key signature of B flat major, which means all B's are flat and all E's are flat, okay? Now, like I said, it's kind of an oversimplification of how composers do that, but they decide they want to be happy or sad. They decide what they want their main note to be, and from there, they can decide which key to use, okay? Let's do 125. Now look at your key signature. This is a D minor scale. You've been playing D major scale for a long time. Very good possibility you're going to end up playing F sharps, but you can't. It won't sound right. You're going to like this. This sounds pretty cool. It's kind of mysterious sounding. It's kind of cool sounding. I want you to notice that it says D minor and it says natural in parentheses. There are actually 3 different forms of minor keys. I'm not going to talk about that in this video. That's too much information. I just want you to know that why it says natural. There's natural minor, which we're going to deal with. There's something called harmonic minor and something called melodic minor. We're only dealing with natural minor in this book, okay? All right, shadow bow 125. 1, 2, shadow bow, go. D, F. Stop. Do you have an F natural down? Low 2 for violins and violas, 2nd finger for cello and bass, F natural. Don't forget, also when you get to the B, it gotta be flat. Starting in, beginning, red, C, shadow, bow, D. Low 2, F natural. Stop. Do you have a B flat down? B flat. Cello's extension. Violins, violas, low 1. Okay, start again, shadow bow. I promise we'll go the whole way this time. And beginning, shadow bow. F natural. B flat, low 1. B flat. F natural. Regular 1. A very common problem is for people to play an E flat at the end. Make sure you don't do that, okay? E is on the tape, on the D string. It's a B flat on the A string. In basses, of course, it's different for you guys. You're on your G string for your B flat. Okay, let's try playing that one again. 1, 2, red, C, and play. D, F natural, B flat, B flat, F natural, and the regular E, Okay, play the last 2 measures with me again, because I have a feeling some of you probably played an E flat just now. Don't do that. Last 2 measures. High D down, red, C, and go. D, C, now B flat. F natural, and the regular E. Okay, now let's try 126. Now you're going to notice something about this song. I hope you do when we play it. Shadow bow, 1, no repeat. 1, 2, shadow bow, go. Stop. Did you do an F natural? I hope so. Start again, and beginning, and go. F natural. Okay, you might have noticed it's similar to a song. Before we try this, I want to play what I think is the hardest measure of the song, the first measure of the second line. Might start coming back to you now. First measure of the second line, A, B flat, A, G. Just try that much. First 5 notes of the second line. Echo me. And go. A, B flat, A, G, F natural. Try that again. And go. A, B flat, A, G, F natural. Now here's kind of the tricky part. After the F natural, you got to do an E natural. You're going to want to do an E flat. Don't let that happen, okay? 1, for everyone except bass, 1 is low on the A string, but regular on the D string, okay? Bass, you're on the D and the G. Measure 1, the whole measure with the second line. And go. A, B flat, A, G, F. Regular E, D. Try it again. And go. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4. Now do measure 1 and 2 of the second line. Not yet, wait. And go. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4. 1, tay, 2, tay, 3, tay, 4. Okay, let's try the whole thing. If you need to pause and practice, please do so. No repeat from the beginning. 1, 2, beginning and with dynamics. Soft. Now a little bit louder. Okay, now you may have noticed that that's like Farajaka. It's got a few little embellishments and it's in a minor key, but it's in D minor instead of D major. If you want to go back and look at Farajaka, I think it's number 90 in your book. No, I'm sorry, 87 in your book, 87 in book 1. And that one, it's almost the same thing with F sharps and C sharps. So it's just slightly different. So did Mahler steal the French folk song and do this? I honestly don't know what his process was, but it's very, very similar, okay? So he might have been like, I want to take that French folk song and I want to make it kind of sad and spooky sounding, mysterious sounding. I'm going to take it from D major and turn it to D minor and add some extra little stuff. And it came out to be a really cool song. So whether they have any relation or not, I honestly do not know. But it sounds so much like the other one. You can take any of your older songs and make them minor and make them sad. I'll show you how to do that in the next video.